production as well as for sale or for business. At the same time, we can use them to provide, or can use them final use in terms of industrial uses, like for offering services, for providing services, like when an institution buys stationaries, they use those stationaries to give services. They are final purchase, but they are bought in large quantities to use in. When, for example, a miller, that is a bakery, for example, buys wheat or wheat flour, for example, they use that wheat flour to make bread. When a supermarket chain, for example, buys merchandise from a manufacturer, they use it for doing business. So that is can be considered industrial purchase. So in many cases, most industrial purchases or industrial products are for specific use. And we can classify industrial products as follows. Let's look at classification of industrial products. Industrial products are classified, or examples are materials, raw materials. We talk about raw materials, parts and components. For example, car manufacturers normally use components or parts to assemble together to form a product. For example, if you are interested in Toyota Allion brand, for example, it is made of different parts. Maybe the manufacturer makes the engine and the chassis. He makes the manufacturers design the engine, and then the chassis, and then the rest of the body are parts bought from different places. Take a look at your mobile phone, for example. You have it right there. Most of the parts of that phone, for example, are made by different firms. It is the brand indicated there is the one that assemble it into that particular product, and they give it a branding. But you find that most of the equipment that are used in that mobile phone are made from different companies. First of all, start with the casing. The casing could be made from the batteries from a different company. The various components, like for example, the processors, the motherboard, and the hard disks, the camera, all of them, the screen, all of them are assembled from different companies. So this is actually specialization. For those who have come through commerce, for example, you understand the importance of specialization. So you get those parts, you get those components, put them together into a product. We have capital items. These are goods that we purchase to help us produce other items. For example, an oven in a kitchen, in a restaurant kitchen, is a capital item for baking or doing all your bakery work, or doing all your preparations, food preparation and whatever. If, for example, you have dough mixer in a kitchen, is a capital item, especially if you use it in a restaurant facility for your business. Or blenders, for example, there are heavy-duty blenders that can be used to prepare various types of juices for sale. That is a capital item. If you have a printer, for example, a printer, heavy-duty printer that can print so many documents, or a copier, printer, copier, these are capital items that you can use. The same way one would use a panga in their farm, or a djembe in their farm. All they are used for production of other items. Supplies are like those goods that we sell in a supermarket, in shops, in groceries, and what have you. Then we also have services. There are industrial services that we can buy in bulk. For example, cleaning services. Today, organizations are procuring certain services that is called outsourcing. Instead of employing people to do that work, you outsource that service. For example, cleaning services. Instead of employing cleaners, it's more expensive to employ cleaners than to hire a cleaning firm to do all your cleaning. Security services. These are services that can be procured or purchased from out there, can be outsourced. It's known as outsourcing. You can outsource even accounting services, auditing services. You can outsource housekeeping services, for example. You can outsource even catering. Today, many companies, organizations are outsourcing catering. That's why catering has become a huge business. Like some of you in the industry, hospitality industry, you can actually, this is a potential area for business enterprise development. You can come up with your equipment, what have you, and organize yourself to be providing catering services. Instead of somebody struggling to buy food out there or to prepare, look for cooks, why not outsource that service? So all that are aspects of industrial products. Those are aspects of industrial product that you need to remember. Let's look at the second class. The second class is known as the consumer product. Consumer product, we're going to look at them in 4 major classes of consumer product. One, we have the convenience group, convenience goods. Now, consumer products are normally bought for final consumption. These are products bought for final consumption. In most cases, we have convenience goods, which are basic products. The characteristic of convenient goods, I want you to take them very keenly. They are frequently bought. Those items we buy almost on a regular basis, daily basis. They are purchased when the need is normally immediate. When you feel like buying a mint, for example, you just get your Tic Tac, or you feel like buying an ice cream, you just decide and you purchase it. So the needs are immediate. Then, of course, there is less comparison. So you need the characteristics of convenient goods. There is less comparison. It is immediate. There is little buying effort. The products are low priced. Products are usually low priced. And then they are distributed over a wider market. They're distributed through many outlets, so many wider markets. The products are readily available. So, and mostly distributors, they want to avoid out of stock situation. In other words, they ensure that these items are always available. So you need to remember those characteristics of convenience goods. And of course, the examples are given there. Those items, that candies, exercise books, salt, bread, chocolate, newspapers, food stuff, majority of food stuff. Now, I also want you to remember that convenience goods can be classified into 3 major categories. Categories of convenience goods: staple goods, impulse goods, and emergency goods. Staple goods are basic needs, food stuff. We purchase them on a regular basis. Impulse goods, those items we buy without a plan. Like you are walking on the street and you see mints being sold there or tropicals being sold there. and you buy them. We plan to buy them, but you just find yourself purchasing them. Emergency goods and products we buy when the need is very urgent, like medicine, for example. You feel a pain in your body, you look for a painkiller. You don't assign yourself pain. It just came. When one feel that they are sick, they are not well, they consult a doctor. These are emergency expenses. Shopping goods. Let's look at shopping goods. Shopping goods, their characteristics are as follows. They are expensive products. They are less frequently bought. We don't buy them as often as the others. Consumers have to compare brands. We compare brands on basis of whether they are suitable, whether they have the quality, whether they have the right price and the style that we want. Then consumers also spend a lot of time trying to gather information about the brands and in order to compare with others. So first of all, like your mobile phone, the smartphone that you have, whatever it costs, maybe it costs 30,000. You did not just took your 30,000, walked into a shop and bought your smartphone. No. First of all, you had to search out, get the right information about that particular brand to know that you are making the right decision, because you cannot just take your money and throw it out like that without planning, without preparing, without getting information. So in most cases, most of these electronics, costly products, we have to take our time shopping for the best brand that will meet somebody's needs in terms of quality, price, and style. So the key characteristics that you need to remember are those ones. Products are expensive, infrequently bought. Brands must be compared. Consumers take their time to make decisions. The products are distributed in fewer outlets. Then the products require deeper sales support. So you find that most of these products, you go to purchase a product at maybe a shop. For example, you go to Samsung shop at the CBD in Nairobi. You'll find that in that shop, there are several salespeople, sales assistants willing and to give you information about the product. Why do you think they are there? They are there to provide essential information that will help the customer make decision. Specialty goods, on the other hand, also are unique products that have unique characteristics. They tend to be expensive. They also tend to be not bought frequently. But the buyer is normally willing to make a special purchase effort. Why? These products tend to be distinguishable from others because of the specific need of the customer that wants to buy them. In other words, these are goods that are customized according to customers' requirement. In most cases, you find that the customer places a special request for such a product, like designer clothes, luxury items, specialized services like medical services, legal, and others. You find that items are customized according to customers' needs. That's why we refer to them as specialty goods. Now, the difference between specialty goods and shopping goods is that the consumer of specialty goods do not compare brands. They already know what they want and they go for it. And they go for it in terms of the special requirement, customization of the product. Another thing, pricing, it does not matter. They are not normally influenced by the price of the product. What is matter to them is to get the specific item that they require. For example, if one visits a medical specialist, their major interest is to getting that service they are looking for. The price does not normally come into play. Of course, it will come into play, but the key thing, the back of the mind, to get that service. Last category of consumer goods is the unsought goods. Unsought goods are those goods that people don't normally think of buying. Mostly new products because people don't know about them. Insurance policies. How many of you have insurance policies? We buy them because some of them are mandatory, but ordinarily, customers do not go for them. Dead stock. Products that no one wants to actually buy. Now, the key thing that you need to remember is to create awareness. Create awareness through adverts and personal selling. Employ salespeople and use many other marketing efforts like provision of incentives to help market this product. And that way you are able to sell. So those are key elements that you need to remember as far as classification of product is concerned. Product diffusion. Product diffusion refers to how a new product is accepted and purchased into the market. It's the rate at which a new product is received by customers and they begin to use it. So we're going to look at a curve that helps explain the diffusion of product. Curve that help in explaining the product diffusion to help us understand how important it is. Now, so let me show you that curve, the product diffusion curve. Now, I believe you are able to see that curve. This one is I want to show a different one, but first of all, before I show you that one, let me just give you the highlights of the components or the elements in that curve. In the product diffusion curve, we have 5 different groups of people who purchase a product when it is launched or during the different stages of the product life cycle. We have the innovators. Innovators tend to be the first group, the first people to adopt a new product when it is made. Innovators, the first group to adopt a new product when it is made. Innovators, the characteristics that they exhibit. These people tend to be high risk takers. They are well managed, well educated, knowledgeable, and they tend to go for new things. As in the diagram, they tend to be a small group of people. They tend to be a small group of people. They represent around about 2.5% of all the customers in the market. They tend to be a small group of people within the market. Now, one thing that you need to know about all these members are their characteristics or what drives them towards adoption of products. Now, I want to show you a diagram which is much more better looking. That's why I'm trying to check on it. So I'm checking a diagram. It is better. So the next group there is early adopters. Early adopters are also quite a small group in the market. They tend to be around 13.5%. They are the ones that follow immediately after a new product is launched. They then go for the product. They mostly are also well managed, but they are a little bit cautious, and they wait until the innovators adopt a product. That's when they choose to purchase the product. They wait until the innovators have adopted the product. That's when they choose to purchase it. So that diagram that I've placed there, I believe this one is much more visible and is the exact type that I want you to have a look at. Let me check whether it is visible. Yes, you see this diagram? This one is better. This is the kind I want you to have a look at. So this one, you can see the innovators are 2.5% of the market. The early adopters are 13.5%. Then we have the third group, early majority, 34%. This is a group that most marketers target because they represent the growth. If a firm is to grow its sales and succeed, they need this group as much as possible because it represents the one that will drive them to the next level. We have late majority. This is what people adopt new product when a product is almost tired in the market, tired, quote unquote. In other words, now it's coming up with new versions, new types, new developments are coming as far as the product is concerned. Laggards are people who would never adopt a product. They only adopt it when it is necessary. So let's look at some of the characteristics of these people and how we can use them, can be able to rely upon them to make decisions. So product diffusion curve. This is a much more better curve than the first one that is here. So take a look at this, and I'll post it on the notes. I'll bring this as well on the notes that I had uploaded. But so let's look at some of the characteristics of these innovators. So like I said, you innovators, they are high risk taking group. They are well oiled with money. They have a lot of money at their disposal. They are very wealthy. They tend to have a pressing need. They hardly ever wait until to get the product. There are people, there are individuals, for example, that when they realize that a new brand is going to be launched, they put their request for it even before it is completed. So in many cases, they are the individuals that drive companies' innovations, for example. Like when Apple is about to launch a new product, for example, some of these guys put their request even before the product has been launched, even before when the product is still in the development stage. They have already put their request. There are many people, for example, there's some guy who wants to develop space tourism, for example. There are people who have already had their booking even before the spacecraft has been developed. So you find that there are people who have the money, they are highly self-confident, they are knowledgeable, they cannot fail to take note of any new development. These are people who are informed, highly educated. Yeah? They're actually the ones that are targeted when new products are launched. Especially they also use us as a group to test market. Like those who are now going to test for the vaccine, unless they are guinea pigs. If there was no pressure, such people would be willing to be the guinea pigs. Early adopters, of course, represent 13%. They are well educated as well. They are product savvy. They have the money, but they are a little bit more cautious. They wait until they get a report from the innovators before they adopt. They want to be sure that the product that is being launched is actually working. So once they confirm it's a great product, they would go for it. Early majority are quite a large group of people. They tend to be more cautious. They prefer to avoid risk. They want to purchase proven products. Majority of these people are the middle class guys. They only go for products after it has been proven that it is good and the product has been endorsed and recommended, especially by brand ambassadors. So I say that is a group that when companies manage to get their signature, the company is in the position to thrive. Late majority are more skeptical. They are more detached. They are more cautious. Another thing is that their income is quite low as well. They are the group that struggle to make ends meet, and they come on board because it is very necessary and to buy a particular product. That's where now this is another group that make the innovators want to look for a better product, because once everyone has it, then it has no prestige. It has no name. Then an interesting group here known as Laggards. Like right now, everyone has got a smartphone that can perform computing operations, can browse, it can send email, can WhatsApp. So everyone WhatsApps. So anyone who does not have a smartphone right now is a laggard. Because we wonder, why should you? Everyone has, even the shows at home, can do a selfie and post on a WhatsApp or on
Mwongo.
Eh?
Mwongo.
Who is that? Can you explain your comment? Who is that? Yes, they can do it. Maybe, who was that? I didn't see you. Yes, it's true. It's true. They can post on WhatsApp. They can do that. They can do this. So if you don't have a smartphone, you are a laggard. Yes, that's what I mean. So this is a group who are quite skeptical. They are quite traditional. They are much more traditional. They take time to accept new products or new development. And majority of the cases, they are pressured into buying new innovation or adopting new innovation when it is very necessary. Tell me, who does not have an M-Pesa account right now? They will only get that M-Pesa account when they have realized that someone wants to send them money through the phone. Who does not have a bank account right now? They'll only open an account when they realize that the government is going to send or to wire old people's pension through the accounts. Are we together? Are we together? Good. So what you need to know about this, adopters category is this, that get to understand their characteristics, get to know what motivates them and what drives them to make purchase or to adopt new products. Are we together? Good. Product life cycle. Product life cycle. Now, product life cycle consists of a 4-stage cycle that represent how products grow from the point of introduction to the point of maturity, to decline. Just like in any other life, maybe life of plants, life of human beings, life of animals, even products have got a life cycle. It is a behavior which takes a product from the time it is made, introduced, how it grows, how it matures, and how it declines. Now, this is a very important tool that has been used to determine or to make key decisions. Now, I want you to look at it from this perspective. There are 4 ways or 4 areas of knowledge that we are going to use when discussing this product life cycle. 1, we are going to look at the characteristic of each stage, the characteristics of a product at each stage. You need to remember that, the characteristic of the product at each stage. At introduction, how does a product behave? At growth stage, what do you see about a product? At maturity stage, what is the key aspect of a product? Then at decline stage, what are the key? So first of all, I want you to know about those characteristics of a product at each stage. Secondly, I want you to look at reason for every stage, reason for behavior of the curve, that is the behavior of the product life cycle curve at each stage. I'm going to show you the curve in a moment, but then take note of that. Reasons for behavior of sales of a product at each stage. For example, at introduction, we normally see a slow growth in product sales. Let me just scroll to see the curve. So I believe you are seeing the curve. At introduction, what is the reason for the slow growth in sales of the product? What are the reasons for high rate of growth in sales for the product? Then at maturity stage, what is the reason for stagnation in sales for that particular product? And what are the reasons for the decline in sales growth for the product? So that is the second thing. 1, I said characteristics. Second, I said reason for behavior of sales of the product at each stage. Third, I want you to use the marketing mix elements for each stage of the product. Use or apply the marketing mix. Marketing mix, we refer to first and foremost the 4 major P's that we have been referring to. Now, what you need to do is at introduction stage, what will be your decision as far as the product is concerned? Product design. How do you design the product? What kind of decisions are you making as far as the product is concerned? Secondly, price. At introduction, what kind of pricing strategies do you use at that stage? Distribution or what kind of decision are you going to at introduction? So you need to make those decisions at every stage. Are we together? The third activity I want you to do is analyzing the stage, each and every stage based on the 4 marketing mix. Price, that is product, price, place, and promotion. Now you repeat that for growth stage, for maturity stage, and for decline stage. So each and every stage you have to analyze it with the 4 marketing mix elements. Now that activity I'm going to give you to do. So that's the third activity. The fourth activity is identify the strategies that a marketer would apply at each and every stage. Identify the strategies that a marketer would apply at each and every stage of the product life cycle. Identify the strategies that a marketer would apply at each stage of the product life cycle. So those are 4 major areas that you need to cover as far as the product life cycle is concerned. I'm going to repeat. The first area characteristics of each stage. Second, reasons for behavior of the curve at each stage. Third, application of marketing mix elements at each stage. And four, strategies used by marketers at each stage. Are we together? Very good.
No. Repeat again.
Who wants us to repeat? I'm saying I want you to use product life cycle curve in this way. First of all, what is the characteristics of the product at each stage? For example, when you introduce a new product, first of all, the product will be introduced, it's expensive. It's few in numbers, for example. At growth stage, what is the characteristic? The product represents or experiences high rate of growth. At maturity, what happens to the product? The growth slows down. At decline stage, becomes unpopular. Are we together? So I want you to look at the characteristic of the product at each and every stage. That is the first activity. Second, look at the reasons for a behavior of this curve. You see that curve, the shape of it. It represents the sales growth, and as time goes, I want you to give the reasons for behavior of the curve at each and every stage. Third, use the marketing mix elements, the 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. What are those decisions that will be used at each and every stage by the marketer? And then lastly, what are the strategies that would be applied by the marketer at every stage? Are we together now?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. I think I'm going to give us the first assignment. I'm going to paste it I'm going to set assignment portal. You'll find there assignment portal. Use all those 4 areas to analyze product life cycle curve and give examples. I want to show you one product that can be able to use. I want to use Safaricom example. Safaricom example to show you what I want you to do. You were asking about the notes that are there on the portal, right? Let me display. I'm gonna display it in a moment. Good. I now have the work. Good. Are we together? You believe you can see that? Now, the activities I'm asking you to do, I'll put it on the portal, and so that you can have that analysis, and you'll be able to give me all that. You'll send a copy. A copy, that is, you'll attach a copy, and that copy you'll be able to use. Now, I want you to look at this, the one that I'm putting, like, this is an example, exercise. The following are highlights of financial performance report of a previous year released to investors by Safaricom at their headquarters in Westland. 1, voice service. Voice service is one of the services offered by Safaricom in terms of incoming and or outgoing voice calls. Like if you call someone's number and you talk, you talk one to another. The revenue grew by 3% to 95 billion. M-Pesa, that is the mobile money services, revenue grew by 19.2%, 72. That is the previous year, 2019. This is not this year's report, okay? This is 2019. Then mobile data. Mobile data, that is the bundles. Mobile data increased by 6.4% to 38.69 billion. Then messaging declined by 1.3% to 17.5 billion. Now, using this information, you can be able to analyze the Safaricom product portfolio performance using on a product life cycle curve. Product life cycle curve.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
When we say portfolio, what do we mean?
Portfolio, we mean the group of products offered by a company. Like, for example, let's give an example of a restaurant. If, for example, a restaurant offers meals within the farm, that is the menu, then the restaurant may have, for example, outside catering, or the restaurant may have, for example, bakery. So we can say that meals or the menu that is offered at the restaurant on a daily basis is one portfolio. Outside catering is another, and bakery is another, like making cakes to sell to outsiders, and making other, maybe bread and what have you. So those are the product portfolios. If, for example, it's a manufacturing firm, it may, let's say, for example, Unilever. Unilever may be making food stuff like Blue Band, like Royco, and what have you. They may be making detergents like Omo, like Sunlight and others. They may be doing cosmetic products. They're doing like close-up, that is the toothpaste and such like. So those are product portfolio, groups of products that are made by the firm that brings revenue to them. So they are the different products that a firm is producing. So when we talk of Safaricom product portfolio, we mean the various products that they offer to customers to generate revenue for them. Like one of them is voice calls, another is M-Pesa, another is data, another is messaging, SMS. So the four are a major portfolio for Safaricom. That's what I mean. Now, are we together?
Yes.
Very good. So I want you to use this behavior of the sales. That's why there is a focus on the sales, because PLC, that is product life cycle curve, is actually analyzing the sales. That's why the curve, you remember seeing the curve out there, on the x-axis, it shows the sales, and the y-axis it shows the sales, and the x is the time, and then the curve is actually a sales curve. That's why there are sales revenues indicated there, especially the growth. I want you to focus on the growth. Focus on the growth, percentage growth, okay? Yeah. So looking at this, I'm going to ask you questions. Where do we classify the following product portfolio, or the components of Safaricom products, along the PLC plane? Now, I'm starting with Derek. Derek, tell us, where do we classify voice calls on the PLC plane, PLC curve? Derek.
Yes.
Where do we place the voice services?
On the product life cycle curve.
Yes, where do we place it? Do we place it on the growth? Do we place it at introduction? Do we place it at maturity or decline? And you give us why.
Growth.
Why growth? Don't get lost. Valentine, where do we place M-Pesa on the PLC curve?
Maturity stage.
Why maturity? Why maturity?
Because the sales increases at a decreasing rate.
The sales increases at
A decreasing rate.
really M-Pesa. Let's leave you. We'll give you your answer. Caroline, where do we place mobile data on the PLC plane?
At the growth stage.
At the growth stage? Yes.
No. I think it's maturity stage. Because I think it's stable, like the mobile data. It's stable, it has reached its peak. Or is it growth? Okay. Between the two, growth and maturity.
No, we need one. We need you to tell us
one. I'll go with maturity.
Maturity.
Yes.
Have you looked at the final figure?
Oh, I think it's. Hey, Cha, you're confusing me. Let's go with growth.
Growth, eh? We'll give you your answer after Jane Sarah. Tell us, where do we place messaging?
I think it's maturity cause it's like the part of maturity, the decaying maturity cause the level of sales is declining and maybe the customers are now switching to other products. Maturity
Wow.
stage.
Maturity.
Yeah, the decaying.
Sorry? Did you say?
Under maturity, the decaying maturity cause the level of sales is declining.
Why not decline? Yes, this is Adiambo. Tell us, where do we place voice? Where do we place voice in the PLC? The PLC. I'm going to give you and there are people who have got it. There are people who are missed it a little bit. Yeah, Adiambo. We're waiting for Adiambo to give us her comment. Or maybe she's not there. Yes, the one who pinpointed the right thing is mobile data. Mobile data is in growth stage. Actually, the answers, you have them there. Voice service is in maturity stage. Voice service is in maturity stage. That is the voice call. And looking at even the revenue, if you look at a growth of 95, a growth of 0.3%, it means that this number just represents a small change, a little bit of change, just a small positive change. It was 94. You know what? 1% of 95 is 0.9. Huh? 1% of 95 is 0.9. Isn't it? 0.9 thousand, 9 million, 0.9 billion. That is 1%. So you can see, what about 0.3? So it's a very small increase. So it means it's in the maturities. In fact, it is stagnating. If you look at that, as far as in the plane, it's actually stagnated. It means that last year, the previous year, it was just around about 94 billion, then it's now 95 billion. Just a small increase. M-Pesa indicates the highest growth. So it means that M-Pesa is in the peak of its growth. That is what I mean, the peak of its growth. So M-Pesa is in the growth stage. So who told us M-Pesa is in decline? How can it decline and it has got a 19.2% growth? If you look at that growth, it's such a huge growth. Mobile data is in the growth as well. It means it's beginning to pick up, comparing the amount that M-Pesa have generated, the amount the voice call has generated, and the amount the data is generating vis-a-vis the growth. It is in the early stage of growth. So it means that it has got room for even greater growth. Jane Sarah, messaging declined. This is obvious. Declined by declined by 1.3%. It means the previous year, they made more money than they made today. So where do we classify that? At the decline stage. So, so you can be able to, so those are the key areas. So look at the key areas. The key thing that you need to remember about the PLC that it is looking at, it's measuring a company's product performance in terms of sales growth. Sales growth. Let me, just a moment, I pick some. Hello. So let me just share again what we have been looking at. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, I think now we are able to understand how the PLC works. That is the product lifecycle concept. So remember, those areas that I was telling you to look at normally focuses on the behavior of sales of a product at each and every stage in the life cycle. And that's why also seeing that product lifecycle curve help organization make decisions as regards their product. Like for example, reason why you find that there are so many incentives Safaricom give its customers is to maintain this high level of performance because the product has reached maturity. So in order to maintain the customers, they keep on giving incentives. So when asked about what Safaricom does to enhance the growth or to maintain the growth of these products, what do you think they are doing? You'll find that they give story bonus. Story bonus, for example. Story bonus is meant to maintain this level of performance. Why do you think Safaricom, for example, M-Pesa grew at this particular rate? Because there's a product that was brought in on board, Fuliza. Remember Fuliza? Fuliza allowed so many customers to be able to use Safaricom M-Pesa services. Like now they have reduced the amount, the fee for sending money below 1,000 bob. That has meant that more people are interacting from that platform. So you find that the companies can make decisions depending on the performance of a particular product. So the PLC is very key. So even in a small business, for example, you may have a restaurant, for example, selling maybe beef and ugali, maybe selling rice and vegetable, maybe selling tea, or maybe you'll be able to measure your restaurant's performance depending on which type of item is selling at the rate of sales that you generate from it. So you may have maybe in your restaurant, maybe your eatery, for example, you have 3 major products that form your menu. We can say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or a particular meal is at lunchtime because there are some who only serve lunches. Then you say that maybe ugali and beef, rice and legumes, for example, maybe chapati and other things. So you find that the product which sells more generates more revenue. So depending on the performance of each, you are able to know what strategy you can use, what decisions you can make to improve the growth of a product. There are certain products when they become unpopular, such that you can no longer maintain them. You phase them out and introduce others, new ones. Like, for example, messaging for Safaricom. Why do you think it declines? There are reasons for its decline. For example, today, people can message on WhatsApp and other social media sites. Calls have become cheaper. So instead of sending text message, why not just call? because almost you're going to use the same amount. So you find that because of this competition, because of increased competition, you find that a product might decline, or a company might phase it out in order to bring another one. So are we together? So those areas that I was asking you to focus on are meant to help you understand the PLC. Are we together? So don't just look at them ambiguously. Look at them with your eyes in the reality. Take a look at maybe a shop, a grocery. You may find a grocery selling items, manufactured products like bread, sugar, whatever. Then the same grocery sells milk, or the same grocery sells vegetables. You'll find that the sale of milk, for example, may be bringing more money than the sale of items, commodities, manufactured commodities. So you find that one product will be adding more value to the organization than the other. So you can use it to classify those items. Are we together? So are we together? Very good. Now, I'm going to place on the portal. This question. You can also use it as your practice question as you analyze those key areas. The notes are already there. You can be able to refer to them for you to do the 4 areas that I told you about the product life cycle. Are we together? Now, look at these questions. Look at these questions that I've put there about the Safaricom. Now, a question like this. Let me do an highlight as well. I think this is the last thing we are doing. Using product life cycle concept or life cycle curve. State and justify the position of Safaricom product portfolio. That is what we have just done. We say that M-Pesa is on growth, voice call is on maturity, data is also on growth, and messaging is in decline. Why are they in those positions? Because of the sales curve. Because of the sales growth, we can be able to take a note of the growth in sales that the product recorded over the previous years. So that's how to justify those positions. Outline 3 strategies Safaricom could use to manage voice service owing to its position. Now, this is asking, you know that the voice service is in stagnation or it has reached maturity. How do you, what methods, what strategies could Safaricom use to manage so that it can achieve some growth or it can maintain that size of sales? And we have seen that they have used store bonus. When you are given, for example, bonus airtime or bonus minutes, for example, and various other, like the Tunukiwa thing, you remember? It gives you opportunity to make calls even more. When you reach a target, for example, you are able to get the similar amount of credit that you had used. So that is actually an incentive. So look for many other incentives that can be used to improve or to maintain or the voice call. Now, examine 3 reasons that could have led to messaging revenue position. Now, what was the messaging?
Mama ndo alimlipia.
Where is the messaging revenue position? What is the messaging revenue position? What is the messaging revenue position? It is in decline. So what are the reasons that could have led to decline? I think Jensera said a few things about it. We have also mentioned. So you need to state that. Then there are key strategies that Safaricom could have used to increase the growth of M-Pesa revenue. Outline such strategies. Now, a question like this asks you to look at the company, because Safaricom is a company well known to all of us. We know the strategies they have been using to increase the growth of M-Pesa. So you need to pinpoint them directly. You don't have to think, what are they? Like waiving the fee, the fee for sending money below 1,000. That is a strategy. Introducing Fuliza is a strategy. Maybe encouraging the use of till numbers. Till numbers does not cost you anything. Encouraging the use of till numbers, for example. And many others. For example, giving incentive for paying by M-Pesa. Like there's a time when they were giving houses for those who paid by M-Pesa, those kind of incentives. So you pinpoint it exactly what they are. When you have a question like this, and you ask what strategies should a company use to increase the growth of its revenue, don't just answer ambiguously. Answer specifically if you are given a specific case like this. But if you are asked of generally, then you can give general information. Are we together? I hope we are together. Huh? Right. Any question up to that stage? Good. No question. No question. Any question? Any question up to that point? Good. No question. So what we gonna do is I want us to stop there So you'll be able to work on the key area that I had identified. There are notes there. There is not that you will be stranded. The notes are there for you to refer to. For example, let me just show you. Let me show you the notes. The notes are here. Introduction stage. So extract the characteristics from there, from those stages. Look at the reasons for behavior of the curve at those stages, at each and every stage. I said, so characteristics. Now, don't just pick words from that table, okay? I want characteristics that are defined. Now, use the product, use the marketing mix, that is product, place, price, and promotion to analyze each stage. For example, what do they do to the product at introduction stage? What do they do to its pricing? How do they price it at each stage? So you need to do that as well. Then look at the reasons for behavior. Reasons. So you can be able to get them. Most of it you'll find that they are something that you just apply. Yeah? You will just apply. For example, why would a sale of a product go down? For example, reduce. For example, maybe there is increased competition. So that's something that you don't even have to search for it here. But of course, you can get it from there. You can look at your environment and discover what it is. So all the notes that you need is actually with you. The strategies that I was referring to, you can discover them from here. So, make sure your work is very brief and to the point. And then that will be good. The next thing that we need to do is new product development. New product development. I want you to also read through it. Read through new product development. The key stages that are necessary. On the portal, I'll open a quiz, and that quiz I will allocate, or I will upload questions that relate to this particular topic. You'll find at the portal 1,001 questions related to this topic. You'll find them on PLC, on product development process, that is new product development, on innovators, that is adopters categories. You'll find them on product classifications, levels of products. So you'll find questions there, and you need to answer those questions. Then also, I want you to look at brand positioning. Look at brand positioning. Read through it so that you are updated. Then look at factors affecting innovation rate of adoption. I believe you'll find them there. And then adoption process for new products. Adoption process for new products. Adoption process for new products. So you find those areas, take a look. So if no questions, you work on the assignment, okay? There's some work I gave last week. Some work I gave last week. And let me see whether people have done them. Yeah, 4 attempts. Adhiambo, you have not done the work. Where? Do the work. You attend classes intermittently. You do the work. Make sure everything that is there you have done them, because you cannot say to come to class and then you don't attend to the work that you're supposed to. You must undertake to do everything. Let me check the previous ones. Did you sit for the cat? Did you sit for the cat? Did you sit for the cat? You did the cat, okay? So make sure every activity from the very beginning up to the end. Your name is not here because you have not attempted the work. Your name is not here. So make sure you do the work. I'll be checking because there are records for all the work that is done. Records for all the work done. So make sure you do it. And as for the exercise, I'm going to create a place for it right away. Make sure everything that you're supposed to do is done. So assignment 1 is
Metro umechagua hizo ni za juzi zenye nilikuja nayo.
You are currently the only person in this conference.